Hello, YouTube. It's RooTube here. Tonight, I'm gonna make, and I'm speaking a little loud because my dishwasher's on. It's right next to the camera because I gotta get the kitchen clean because it looks horrible. I'm gonna make beef, kale, and mini potato gnocchi pesto. It's really good, but I'm gonna do it in a skillet. So I'm just gonna take some of my oil. I had this. This is that oil I made a ways back. I had it in the refrigerator, got pushed in the back so it congealed a little. So I'm just gonna get this in here and I'm gonna get it heating up. I wanna get this nice and warm and get it nice little hot so when because the first thing I'm gonna do is I got my meat. It's cut up nice and small. So after this heats up, and I actually got my water for my gnocchis sitting here. I still got to put some salt in it, but I'm not going to do that for a while because I want to make sure this meat's nice and tender, and I want to make sure the kale is nice and tender. So I'll just let that heat up, and so you don't have to watch that heat because it's boring as could be. I'm going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oil's decently hot. I'll take my meat and just drop it in there. Get it all out of there. I'm going to spread it out just like that. There, take care of the bowl. Now I'm going to take some fine sea salt and salt this up. And not a ton of it, but a decent amount. And I'm going to take some mushroom powder, give it that deep umami flavor. Some white pepper. A little bit of crushed pepper. There we go. I'm just gonna stir this up a second, just like that. I just want to get a little browning on this. I don't want it to like cook all the way through. I don't want it to be chewy. I don't make from Star Wars either. Alright, there we go. Just gonna let that go a couple minutes. And I'm not going to make you sit and watch this because this is boring. So when this is done, I'll be back. I'll get back. This is right where I want it. See, some it's nice little brown on it. When you get it where you want it, we are going to take, this is about 2 cloves of garlic. A little chunk of shallot. Stir it up, just give it a couple minutes. Just for those flavors to melt a little bit. Whew, that shallot's strong. Last couple shallots I bought have been a little stronger than normal. Must have sat around for a little bit. But I like using shallots because usually they don't have as pungent as a flavor of regular onion. That's usually why I use onion powder, because I don't like bites of onion in my food. Plus, sometimes it upsets my stomach. So we're just going to give this a couple minutes. Okay. Like that. It does smell really, let me tell you, it smells really good. Okay, and then I'm going to take, this is in a bag because it cracked, but this is anchovy paste, which is good for cooking. It tastes horrible, but it's good for cooking. I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. There we go. That's one reason why I didn't put a whole lot of salt in it earlier, because there are a couple of things I'm going to be using. So I don't want my meat to be super salty. See, that's it broke right there, so it's kind of hard getting this out. There we go. Just like that. 2 little lines. Pick worker. Then you gotta watch out. You gotta move. Sweet, I don't want to. Okay. And then I got the lemon Tube of lemongrass. I'm going to use this just a little bit now, and then I'm going to use a little bit later. That's good. That lemongrass tube stuff. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of pesto now. I'm not going to use a lot. Actually, I want to use a clean spoon. I'm just going to put a little one. I think a spoon's better. A little bit in there. Alright. Mix that up really good. Popping a little bit. Give it a minute or so. Boy, that smells good. And you can make your own pesto if you want, but that's what I consider for, you know, when you want to be a little lazy. There we go. How beautiful that looks. I know some people probably don't, but I love meals like this. Alright, now I'm going to take a little bit of red wine. And I'm going to deglaze, get that fond off the bottom. I just had a little bit, not a lot, but a little. And then I'm going to let this cook a couple minutes, because I want that pungent alcoholic taste out of it. And if you never tried a lemongrass, not bad. A little lemony, it doesn't have the acidity to it. And I saw that and I was like, hey, that's a good way to try it. So I'm going to let this just cook down for a couple minutes, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got this right where I want it. See, I let the alcohol cook right down, and it looks good. Now I'm going to take my kale. Whoops. And I'm going to, well, as usual, I missed part of the freaking thing. There we go. Now I'm going to just stir this up. And you have to use a lot because it cooks down like most greens do. And I'm just going to give this a couple minutes to get coated. Let it cook down just a little bit. It's not really greasy. I'm gonna wait till the end before I mix a lot of my flavoring in, because I don't want it to get salty or anything like that. Plus, I'm going to use some beef stock in this. So between the salt that's on the meat, the anchovy paste, and then I'm using better than bouillon, and then your pesto has a little bit of salt in it. So I don't want to. Actually, I think that one didn't. Yeah, that one's a little brown. I don't like that. Not garbage. So I'm just gonna let that cook a couple minutes, just to cook down just a little bit, like I said. See, starting to look good. And see, I don't have a lot of oil in here right now. I mean, there is some. Everything's got a nice little coat on it, but it's not greasy. See? And I'm not gonna add my oil, you know, and the extra pesto and the extra lemongrass till the end. When I put my gnocchi, after I cook my gnocchis, and it's over here, it's gonna go in here. And then I'm going to make sure I have what I want. Then it'll taste a little fresher at the end. Oh, look at that. See how good that's looking? Nice vibrant green. I love kale. The fact that it's a superfood makes it even better. I don't care if it's in cooking, soup, or any kind of soup, stew, fried, raw. I love kale salad. I know it don't look it, but I do. Okay, here we go. I guess right where I want it. Now I'm going to take some water, and I am going to turn this down a little bit because I want it to stew a little bit. And I'm just going to put some water in there. Just barely going to cover it. And then I'm going to take some of my Better Than bouillon. And I'm going to put this in there. Now I'm going to stir it up. Go. And I'm going to put a lid on this after I get this, after I taste this. And I'm going to just let it simmer for a little bit. Not really hard. And I'm going to keep checking it. And if I need to, I'm just going to add a little bit more water because I at least want this nice steamy environment. I want it to be moist. I don't want it to dry out. But I also don't want it to completely boil either. Which is why I don't have as... I didn't completely fill that. There we go. Beautiful. It's all mixed in. Make sure I get it mixed up well. And I take a little bit of this. Oh wow, that's really good. I could drink that and keep drinking it. I love a good broth, good stock. Okay, you want to flatten that out like that. And I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna keep checking on it every probably 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then I'll get back to you so you don't have to watch it. Because, well, they say a watch pot never boils. Whether that's true or not, I know it's boring as can be waiting for a pot to boil. Because I've sat and watched it. Yes, sometimes I'm an idiot. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I kept checking on this. It's about almost where I want it. So I'm going to take the lid off it. And I'm just going to let this dry up some. I always say put my lid so I don't drop it on the floor. Alright, I'm going to take my seasoned salt water and start it. I'm going to get that nice and hot so I can cook my gnocchi. And I taste this. This is pretty good. Tried it a couple times. And you can cook it down to wherever you like it. Because yeah, some people do like it chewier than others. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna keep an eye on it because I don't want it to dry out and start. I just want some of that liquid to cook out while this is getting hot. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes because you don't really need to see this. I am back. My water's boiling. This is just about cooked down, so I turned it down some. And now I'm going to take my mini potato gnocchis, pre-packaged of course. I have made them before. They are fairly easy, but I like keeping some of these around. And they should only take about 2 minutes to cook. Once they start floating, you gotta be careful the whole thing doesn't go in at once and you burn yourself. Which I think is what's gonna happen. Gotta be careful you don't break them, but you do wanna get them to come apart some. Well, that water's really hot. This is a high intensity burner, so I mean I can feel really good heat all the way up here. I want to break them up a little bit, but I don't want to frickin' crush them. Boy. The only problem with using it, when you turn it down a little bit. A little bit more. Get right about there for a minute right now. There we go. Alright. Don't want that to get all nasty. all we're gonna do is get these done, which should take roughly 2 minutes. Come on. Come apart. Once they start floating, they're done. I have a spider sitting right next to me, so I can scoop them out when they're done. And once you start floating, I'll turn this back on, so we don't have to stand here for 2 minutes and listen to me babble and look at my friggin' belly. Alright, it wasn't even 2 minutes. It was like, well, of course I did put them in and babble for a little bit, so I'm gonna start getting some of these out. Actually, they might all be done, I don't know. Because they're gonna still cook a little bit and carry over heat, plus this is warm too, so it should all be done. Okay, here we go. Maybe that's all of them. Yep. So I am going to set that there, and I'm going to shut my water off. There we go. And I am going to carefully mix these around a little bit. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, now real quick, before I mess with them a lot, I'm going to take a little bit more of that lemongrass. There we go. Beautiful. And then, the main event is our pesto. So, and that right there is where I'm going to go for just 1 second. Because I want, of course, I want to taste it once I get them mixed up. Just try to be careful because you don't want to break them up. And from the looks of it, I'm not going to need any more oil. They're not greasy. Everything's sticking to it. Ooh. Handle got a little bit of grease on it. Look at that, nice and mixed up. Don't want to drop it on the floor. Sophia's ate enough tonight. Literally, she's eating way too much. Lost my tasting spoon somewhere. So I'm going to just get a little bit of everything. That's it. Okay, look at that. That's good. Actually, I think that's right where I'm going to leave it. Yep, that's where I'm going to leave it. Kill this. And put it in the back. Then, there we go. Take nice it is. And if you want, you can put Parmesan cheese, whatever, on this. And, you know what's really good is you take, you know, the jarred Alfredo, and you literally just mix it right in with this. And it makes it 100 times better. I've done it before with Alfredo and pesto. And that's it, right there. I tell you, this is a good meal. So, you gotta give it a try. Now, please like and subscribe. Everybody stay safe. Stay healthy, and cook this and eat it. Right? Toodles.